First witness takes the stand in the murder trial of a Michigan man. Legal liability.
The driver should be responsible, but also the restaurant.
Who holds accountability during incidents of drinking and driving? And remembering Gus Revanberg.
He was all about honesty and integrity.
A name closely associated with the Rose City.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
A hero's welcome for an 8-year-old Windsor boy whose dream of becoming a police officer just came true. Windsor police teaming up with Make-A-Wish to make his day unforgettable. Good evening and thank you for joining us. We'll have more on the sights and sounds at police headquarters today in just a moment, but first to the courts. CTV's Michelle Maluske sitting in on day 2 of a Michigan man's murder trial accused in a deadly act of intimate partner violence. Michelle.
Yes, Stefanie, I do want to warn our viewers and listeners the content of this story is upsetting because, as you said, it involves allegations of intimate partner violence. 47-year-old Brian Marbury is on trial for first-degree murder in the death of his wife. 36-year-old Sarah Boulay died in May 2023. Her body found half buried in a field just off Huron Church Road. She was reported missing by staff at Hiatus House, where she had been living for 3 weeks before her death. Her mother, Fartumo Kusau, spoke with CTV News in 2023 after her daughter's ordeal. Now, Kusau is the first witness called to testify in Marbury's trial. Kusau has told the jury about her daughter's tumultuous relationship with Marbury since they first met in 2004. The jury has learned within 1 month of meeting Marbury, Boulay came home with her first injury, a bruised thigh. The couple married in 2008 against Kusau's wishes. She says her relationship with her daughter, quote, revolved around the situation with Marbury as Boulay went through a cycle of distancing herself from her family to be with Marbury and then calling in need of her mother's help to get away from him. On 10 occasions over approximately 10 years, Kusau says she had to go to Detroit to bring her daughter home to Windsor. Kusau says her daughter suffered black eyes, bruises, broken bones over her 19-year relationship. Boulay was denied entry to the U.S., so Marbury would eventually have to visit Windsor on weekends, but Kusau was eventually forced to kick him out because of repeated arguments between the couple. In the spring of 2023, Kusau gave her daughter an ultimatum. She would only support Boulay if she reported the abuse and stayed away from Marbury. That's when Boulay moved to Hiatus House. The last time Kusau spoke to her daughter was May 26, 2023. She thought her daughter was returning to Hiatus House, but she was in fact going to visit Marbury at a Windsor hotel. A ride-sharing driver was the last person to see Sarah Boulay alive. On cross-examination late today, Kusau admitted she never documented any of the alleged injuries, nor did she ever report the alleged abuse to Windsor or Detroit police. Kusau also admitted another condition of her support was that Boulay stop drinking alcohol. Defense lawyer Ken Marley is accusing Kusau of making up those first injuries to, quote, poison the mind of the jury because she doesn't like Brian Marbury. Kusau says she's only reporting what she saw and what her daughter told her. Stefanie, this trial will continue on Thursday.
Okay, Michelle Maluske, thank you for this. A unique perspective was offered today at the ongoing inquest into the death of a Windsor man. 21-year-old Nathaniel Krug died on March 10th of 2021. He had consumed a lethal amount of fentanyl and a drug used to treat insomnia inside his cell at the South West Detention Centre. At the inquest into his death today, the man who sold Krug those drugs testified. Luc Bouchard said the provincial jail system needs to have a system similar to federal corrections, where offenders go to a halfway house first before being reintegrated into society. And he said the court-ordered probation drug treatment programs need to be as strict as they are in the federal parole system. Bouchard has served his federal sentence for drug trafficking, and he's now living in a halfway house with an education, a job, and he will soon move out on his own with no plans to return to his criminality or substance abuse. Now, we have more in our online coverage, including some unique recommendations given to the jury by the judge. You can find that at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Police in Chatham say a case of road rage ended with assault charges this morning. Just before 9 a.m., officers say two vehicles sideswiped one another, with both drivers pulling over afterwards. That's when officers allege things turned physical between a 32-year-old and a 63-year-old man. The older driver suffered minor injuries, and the 32-year-old is now facing one count of assault. Meantime, police in the county say a 22-year-old Kingsville man is under arrest after a break-in. Around 5:30 Saturday morning, OPP responded to a business on Division Street South, reportedly finding the suspect nearby. He is now charged with breaking and entering, possession of break-in tools, and failing to comply with probation. Two Windsor residents have been convicted under Ontario's Animal Welfare Services Act. In court last month, Andrew Martins and Shannon Tonita admitted to letting an animal be in distress, each pleading guilty to one count. The judge fined them $500 apiece and ordered lifetime bans on owning, caring for, or even living with animals. The province's police watchdog has cleared two Windsor officers after a man was left with a broken nose during an arrest outside the Doubletree Hotel back in May. The SIU director says officers used force to control the intoxicated man, but there was no evidence of any criminal offense. In other news, a big bust at the Ambassador Bridge with hundreds of kilos of cocaine stopped from coming into Canada. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers flagged a trailer for inspection. Inside, they say, were boxes and duffel bags packed with bricks of cocaine, more than 470 kilograms in all. The truck and trailer were taken, and a citizen of India now faces federal prosecution. Officials say this is part of a much bigger fight, with the Detroit field office already seizing more than 4,000 pounds of cocaine so far this fiscal year. A dream come true for a young Windsor boy today thanks to the Make-A-Wish program. 8-year-old Abudi trading in the school bus for a police cruiser, getting a hero's welcome at police headquarters ahead of a symbolic day on the job. CTV's Chris Campbell joins us now with more on the honorary officer's big day. Chris.
Yes, Stefanie, the Windsor Police Service rolled out the red carpet today this morning, closing down Chatham Street in front of headquarters so 8-year-old Abudi could arrive in full police style, escorted by a motorcade and welcomed with drums, bagpipes and cheers, and sworn in as an honorary constable. Officer Abudi has been busy ever since.
It was no ordinary start to the day outside Windsor Police Headquarters, where 8-year-old Abudi and his family rolled up in style, escorted by a convoy and given a proper salute. Because today, thanks to Make-A-Wish Canada, his dream of becoming a police officer officially came true.
And just seeing the positive effect that Wish has on everybody, not just Abudi, is just incredible to witness. And the Windsor Police coming together to put such an amazing event together with all these experiences for Abudi, it's just, he's loving it.
We have members at the Windsor Police who have their own children who have faced some significant health challenges, and I think that resonated with them, and a lot of them are involved today and making sure that Abudi is getting the most incredible experience that he can have, and it's been amazing so far.
After being suited up and sworn in as an honorary constable, Abudi got right to work. He spent the day tackling missions with Windsor's finest after already getting a taste of police life with classmates at Queen Victoria's School yesterday.
Yeah, this is a beautiful day for all my family, and I'm so happy to see my son right now. His wish is coming, and I want to thank everyone help my son for this is Make-A-Wish.
And while the uniform might be small, the impact is anything but. Aboudi was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2018 and has gone through numerous surgeries and chemotherapy since.
I'm cry, my wife cry, everybody cry, the school, the teacher. I hope everything is fine for my son right now.
The memories that a wish creates last a lifetime, and for a child that has gone through so many treatments and through a critical illness, it's everything.
Make-A-Wish officials say every 2 hours in Canada, a child is diagnosed with a critical illness. For Aboudi and his family, who say he's 99% recovered, this is a day they'll never forget.
Don't do that! I won't. This is something that the community is going to remember for a long time, and Aboudi and his family will have to just cherish forever and maybe inspire him to become a police officer one day.
And Stefanie, Aboudi's wish may have come to an end today, but the impact will last far beyond today. Make-A-Wish tells us that becoming a police officer is one of the most requested dreams across all of Canada. In fact, it was the very first wish ever granted by the foundation many decades ago.
Well, congratulations, Aboudi. And it was a gorgeous day to receive that warm welcome. With more on the forecast, CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us from outside on top of the Bell building tonight. Gary.
Good evening, folks. Indeed, a blessing for a great day to officiate over that young man's first day on the job as a police officer. Well, the blessings of warm weather. Still summer, technically, as we roll into fall next week. It has been glorious. Day 5 of temperatures at least 3 degrees above seasonal, and it looks like it will be a quiet evening. Ridge 5 pressure is not showing anything of note on the satellite radar imagery, so we are mostly clear tonight through the overnight, early morning tomorrow, and sunny, and it will be even warmer by a degree or two for tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if this late summer trend continues into the weekend with my complete forecast coming up. For now, I'll send it back inside at the desk.
His name is on countless signs and ads across our region. Tonight, Windsor Essex is remembering Gus Revanberg, the well-known auto dealer and business leader. Family and friends say Revanberg, who died Monday at the age of 77, will be remembered most for his kindness and honesty. Revanberg opened his first dealership back in 1987 before expanding to several other brands. He was known for being hands-on in his showrooms and in his downtime spending hours with his horses or out fishing. Visitations and a funeral will take place on Friday.
He was all about honesty and integrity, and he always told everybody, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. He's trying to tell you something. Listen twice as much as you talk. Listen to what the customer's saying and what his needs are. Let him tell you what they want. Don't try and sell them what you think they want.
An East Windsor bar could lose its liquor license after the AGCO ruled it overserved a man involved in a deadly drunk driving crash. It raises a tough question. How much responsibility should a bar bear if someone they serve gets behind the wheel? CTV News previously spoke with one local legal expert on this issue, and tonight we revisit that conversation. It's an ongoing hot topic. Who should be legally responsible for the actions of drivers who get behind the wheel intoxicated?
You shouldn't be driving a car if you can't operate it.
The person who drinking is responsible.
If he drink, he shouldn't drive.
The driver should be responsible, but also the restaurant.
I think that the driver
should be held responsible.
But Kathleen Rushello says restaurants, bars, and their servers should also take accountability.
They're all supposed to take smart serve and should be in tune with who they're serving.
She's right, according to personal injury lawyer Greg Munforton.
If a server is convicted under the Liquor License Act for over-serving a patron to the point of intoxication or beyond, he or she is liable to be fined up to as much as $100,000, as well as up to 1 year in prison.
Montfortin says intoxicated drivers who get behind the wheel and cause an injury or death hold the majority of blame in court, but at the end of the day,
Still dealing with a business that is making a profit by serving people substances which cause them to achieve some measure of, if not intoxication, at least some compromising of their cognitive faculties.
The Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario can fine a licensed business up to $50,000 for selling or supplying liquor to anyone who is or appears intoxicated. According to SmartServe Ontario, servers are responsible for an individual long after they leave the bar. They are actually responsible until that person is no longer drunk. Montfortin's message to drivers: just don't drink and drive.
If you cause an injury and a court concludes that you were intoxicated, that could very likely also compromise your own insurance coverage. That will give your insurance company the argument that they are entitled to deny coverage for you, in which case you could end up losing your house, your job, you could lose everything.
I still think the restaurant should be held responsible, but it's also the person that's doing the drinking. Like, there's no excuse for drinking and driving. There's all sorts of places and people that you can call, and you should not get into a vehicle.
Windsor police officials say you at home can also play a role in keeping roadways safe by contacting 911 immediately if you suspect an impaired driver on the road. So how do you feel about this? Should establishments be legally responsible for drivers who get behind the wheel while intoxicated? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, would you use the new Windsor-Detroit Tunnel bus? More than 550 people weighed in. 61% say no. Windsor Regional Hospital wants your help as it looks to change its name and brand. After more than 30 years with the same name, the hospital says it no longer reflects the services it provides or the communities it serves. It's kicking off a 9-month rebranding process, asking staff, patients, and the public to weigh in through a short online survey. Officials say the timing lines up with major redevelopment projects, including the impending construction of the new fancy family hospital. The survey is open until December 15th, with paper copies and in-person feedback opportunities also available.
Should it have a geographical reference in the name of the organization, or should it be something outside of that, like, for example, Trillium Health or Unity Health? Or do you want to see something that says where we are and the community that we serve?
The hospital also naming Nicole Krivianik as its new Chief Nursing Executive and Vice President. She's been with Windsor Regional Hospital since 2018, with a resume boasting more than 20 years of experience in critical care and emergency nursing. She steps into the interim Vice President role last year and now takes it on permanently, succeeding Karen Rydell, who remains President and CEO until her retirement in 2026. Meantime, Chatham-Kent Health Alliance is cutting 8 management positions because of financial pressures. The cuts include vice presidents, directors, managers, supervisors, and a spiritual care provider. Hospital officials say mental health services will now fall under a new manager, and spiritual care will be handled through local clergy and volunteers. CEO Adam Topp says the changes will help the organization stay focused on patient care. And on Caldwell First Nation, a new push to tackle invasive phragmites. The community's project is one of 87 across Ontario, getting support through the Invasive Phragmites Control Fund. The Invasive Species Centre calls the plant the province's worst invader, spreading rapidly and strangling biodiversity. Queen's Park says funding will help protect wetlands, roadways, and community spaces.
Listen, it's closed for business. Ma'am, I'll tell you what, we can do it a different way.
Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, from TikTok fame to felony charges, why a viral food stand nearby got shut down.
Just an accumulation of my team being able to put me in the right position.
Bob Bellacicco has your weekly wrap of local sports, and this and more still ahead. Tomorrow, back to school 50 years later. Past grads of a local high school reunite in the name of building a legacy. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. A popular food vendor in Detroit traded her barbecue tongs for handcuffs this weekend, with police arresting the owner of a viral hot dog stand on a felony charge.
Listen, it's closed for business. Ma'am, I'll tell you what, we can do it a different way. I'll tell you what, put your hands behind your back, you're detained.
The stand, Dopey's Fire Hot Dogs, has been blowing up on TikTok for its Mexican-style hot dogs, drawing crowds from Windsor and across Metro Detroit. But body cam video shows what was supposed to be a busy Sunday shift on September 14th, spiraling into a confrontation with police. Officers say the vendor was selling food without a license, and when they asked for permits, she resisted, leading to her arrest on a felony obstruction charge. Detroit police say the situation could have ended with just a warning if the vendor had cooperated. But customers and neighbors insist the whole thing was blown out of proportion. Ruiz, who co-owns the stand with her boyfriend, is now out on bond while the case works its way through the courts.
There's a very good chance this young lady would have walked away with just shutting her business or her operation down. But we don't know at this point because she didn't cooperate at all with a law enforcement officer. And he wasn't there to cause her any harm. He was there to find out if she was permitted, and then if she wasn't, which we knew she wasn't, or they had a feeling she wasn't, walk her through the steps on how to get permitted.
And in Michigan's capital, lawmakers are weighing a first-of-its-kind proposal that would outlaw online pornography altogether. The bill, called the Anti-Corruption of Public Morals Act, would make it illegal to view or distribute porn with penalties for violators. It's sponsored by Republican Representative Josh Shriver and 5 GOP colleagues who argue pornography damages marriage and fuels trafficking. It's had its first reading and now moves to the House Judiciary Committee. And the White House is taking the first official step towards renegotiating its trade agreement with Canada and Mexico. America's trade representative will begin 45 days of public consultations prior to a mandated review of the trade deal next year. There also will be public hearings in November. The Prime Minister is looking to change some aspects of the deal, pointing to exceptions in trade law that allowed the U.S. to impose sectoral tariffs on Canada. Mexico has started a public consultation process to gather information on the functioning of the trade agreement. It has so far shielded Canada and Mexico from the full impact of American tariffs. Some healthcare changes here at home, with Queen's Park considering giving different health professionals more authority. Things like allowing psychologists to prescribe antidepressants and allowing pharmacists to perform strep throat tests. Ontario Health Minister Sylvia Jones says expanding the scope of practice for health professionals will ease pressure on other parts of the healthcare system and increase access to care. The province is also considering expanding the ability of other professionals, including dental hygienists, physiotherapists, and chiropractors, to order and perform some diagnostic procedures, such as X-rays, MRIs, and CT scans. The province may also consider allowing optometrists to perform minor surgical procedures in office. Also tonight, the Bank of Canada has cut its key lending rate to 2.5%. In its September interest rate announcement, the central bank reduced its target for the overnight rate by 25 basis points, which now sits at 2.5%. The Bank of Canada says that global economic growth is showing signs of slowing amid higher U.S. tariffs and ongoing uncertainty. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne outlining what Canada is hoping to see at the end of trade negotiations with the United States.
At the same time, we need to do more. That's why you'll see, like I said, in the next federal budget, we'll be ambitious in our investment and we'll be rigorous in our expenses, because what I've been explaining and Canadians understand very easily is that we need to spend less so that we have, we have more money then to be able to invest in the type of things that will make us more resilient.
Canada's main stock index finished narrowly in positive territory today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 6 points. In New York, the Dow added 260, the Nasdaq fell 73. The Canadian dollar lost 0.07 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold dropped $7 an ounce. Oil is down 46 cents a barrel.
Really, it sets you up for less productivity throughout the day.
Is the Canadian lunch break going extinct? A new study shows most of us are skipping it altogether.
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Leanne Gledhill for this foggy early morning image. Lovely. Do you have a weather image that could be our next snapshot? Text it to 10400. And of course, we want original images. No AI involved. But of course, our audience would never do anything like that. Weather details coming up next.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app. From moment to moment, things change.
Mayday! We need more crews at this location.
CTVNewsWindsor.ca is Windsor's #1 source for online news. Watch every story from wherever you are the moment it happens. Plus exclusive content and must-see viewer video. Don't miss a moment. Windsor's leading online news source, CTVNewsWindsor.ca.
Gorgeous color there. Gary joins me again for an extended look. Gary.
Thank you. I had this jacket in reserve. Oh, you're talking about the flowers. Yes, they are beautiful outside to go along with the warm conditions, of course. And I did call it, ladies and gentlemen. I have no control over what is atmospherically taking place. But I did say this ridge of high pressure would be with us for a while, and that would mean we'd be warmer than seasonal based on the air circulation patterns, and that the ridge obviously would keep things relatively benign, right? Clear the skies out, and whatever cloud cover we've seen of late, it's been of the fair weather variety, and most importantly, the sun's been shining and we've been seeing it and feeling the warmth. The air quality is in the low category at 3 out of 10, so on the AQI index, that is good. Temperatures are between 25 and about 27, almost 28 between Chatham, Kent, and Windsor, Essex. That's 77 to 81 Fahrenheit. It feels like about 30 across the board in extreme southwestern Ontario. The sunshine continues through to twilight, dusk, and clear skies tonight. And by the way, we are in the warm slot in the country. I'd say central Ontario, south to the lower Great Lakes, east towards southern Quebec and the Maritimes, with some warmth in the great province of Alberta out west as well. Ridge of high pressure is keeping that system that stirred up the mid-Atlantic states with a stalled out area of low pressure. It's been raining across the region, New York, New Jersey, D.C. I mean, if you have travel plans, some people travel there for business and pleasure and what have you. It has not been great. Meanwhile, we've been protected by this ridge over us, and although we will see increasing cloudiness over the next couple of days into the weekend, not anticipating significant rainfall in the next 24 to 48, perhaps even 72 hours. Clear tonight through 8, 10, and midnight. To start things off tomorrow morning at midnight will be a balmy 17 degrees. We'll cool down to about 13 and then up, look at this, to 28. Take a look at our styles. Heating and cooling 7-day forecast. Fair and warm tomorrow, 28, 24 and fair Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cloudy both days. Showers possible Saturday, 26, 22, and then 25s apiece Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with some wet weather, maybe even some light thunderstorm activity on the way. Finally, it's been a while. Let's look at your weather.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Did you take a lunch break today? Well, new data shows a surprising number of Canadians have become comfortable skipping their midday meal altogether. CTV's Vanessa Wright explains why that may be a problem.
A new study suggests the Canadian lunch is disappearing, as survey results from Factor Canada show 61% of Canadians skip their lunch break altogether.
Today I skipped my lunch, so it happens. I'm not shocked at all. I can't believe it's a higher percentage.
Not entirely skipping lunch. It's sort of like I eat it on the fly, in the elevator, standing up. I never sit for lunch at work.
Sometimes I just find that I don't really have time.
Experts say it's all based on one misconception.
People will skip lunch thinking that you're going to get that little bit more productivity out of yourself. But really, it sets you up for less productivity throughout the day. Your energy levels go lower. Maybe you can't think quite so clearly.
And for those who do take a lunch, the studies show 2 in 5 eat it at their desk. But that doesn't necessarily count.
An even better step is to get away from the desk, go for a walk, see other people, maybe get some fresh air while you're having that really balanced meal.
Still, many agree a lunch break is a chance to refuel and recharge. 38% of respondents who took a true lunch break said it reduced stress, 25% say it fostered stronger connections, and 24% say it powered afternoon productivity.
Another thing we'll talk about is if you have a little bar fridge at work, what are some things that you can stock it with so that on those days when it was just too much to make sure that you had a balanced meal for the day, that you have options. There isn't really an excuse.
Vanessa Wright, CTV News.
Coming up on Windsor's news leader, the Tigers not so hot last night. Can they turn the series around? This and a wrap of local sports on the other side of the break.
Comedian Joe Coy and friends are coming to Caesars Windsor for a rousing night of stand-up Saturday, November 8th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Joe Coy and friends at Caesars Windsor, plus a $200 gift card.
CTV's Bob Bellacicco is here after spending the past week on the sidelines. Bob, a lot to talk about. Let's start on the ice.
Let's do that. Let's go to Essex, a little ice hockey between the Essex 73s and the Moortown Flags. Got to see this goal. I'll start off with this one. Andrew Baker last night. This is totally working man's goal. I love how he tucked that one upstairs. Great work by him. Unfortunately, the 7-3s lost in their home opener 4-2. Moortown goalie John Chartrand was key in nets, 39 saves for the win. Hockey tonight in LaSalle. The Vipers host Chatham. The Maroons are 2-0, while the Vipers look to take in their first win of the season. Also tonight in Wheatley, the Sharks welcome the Amherstburg Admirals.
Okay, so last week we talked about St. Clair College's dominance on the football field. I'm assuming they're still at it.
Oh, yeah, they're still rolling. They're 6-0 right now, and they host the GTA Grizzlies over at Acumen Stadium Saturday night. And you know what? There's some good news out of the University of Windsor, too. The Lancers football team finally got their first win of the season. And the spotlight belongs to Brady Lidster. The fourth-year kicker is 9 for 9 so far this season. The St. Thomas native hit 3 for 3 against Mac, bringing his career total to 63, which, by the way, is a University of Windsor school record. Now, last year, he set another really cool record with a 55-yard field goal. This guy is steady and a big point getter for the Lancers.
My whole university experience has just been building on, previous game, previous year, whatever the situation might be. But just an accumulation of my team being able to put me in the right position and then obviously executing in that. Like, it's been some of the best years of my life, and I really enjoy the time here and all the time with my friends as well.
Very talented right there. Back to the college. The women's soccer team is on a mission this year. Now, after an embarrassing first-round loss to Sheridan in the playoffs last fall, the Saints came back focused. So far, they have a win and 2 ties under their belts. Head coach Stefanie credits a strong offseason and more accountability in the locker room for their early success.
Just like a remake song, right? It's the same, but it's just better. So, yeah, we worked on it. That's it. They took accountability. That's the only thing that everybody stepped up. Everybody stepped up and did their job.
And Bob, I hear there is a huge competition at Jackson Park next week.
Yeah, well, actually, it's this week. And then, well, it's kind of all week long, let's put it that way. Some of the best lawn bowlers in the world are here in Windsor for a big tournament. Now, Team Canada arrived earlier today. Some of them got in early practice.
It's the first major competition in Canada in over 30 years.
The Atlantic International Challenge is being hosted at the Windsor Lawn Bowling Club starting Saturday.
Lawn bowls is a very easy game to play. It is very hard to be good, and these guys are the best in the world, so it's really cool to have them here.
Team Canada was on the green this morning, and the players like the facility.
Windsor's been great. Our very first national competition, Windsor hosted, so that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. The volunteers here are lovely, and yeah, it's a great club. I love it here.
Just having the first roll up this morning, and the greens are really good, so they'd be one of the best in Canada. So a little bit slower than Australia, but they're nice and true. So.
Ryan Bester is the top male lawn bowler in Canada, but lives in Australia. He says if you want to play hockey, you stay in Canada. If you want to play bowls, you go to Australia.
They can play 12 months of the year. They love sport, the best climate for the greens, and they probably have about 230,000 members who play bowls in Australia.
Ireland, Scotland, and a team from the U.S. will be part of the four-nation tournament. Official practice day is Friday, with the opening ceremony taking place at 4 p.m.
I've only been bowling now for 4 years, so it's exciting to get to see other countries.
Historically, Scotland's probably one of the top 2 nations in the world, and Ireland's in the top 5. So it's really good for Canada.
Good for Canada, good for the city of Windsor to have players of that caliber here in town. Now, after the tournament, some of the players are staying to play in the Azores International Pro-Am next Thursday and Friday. Now, over to the WFCU Center we go, where the Spitfires are getting ready to open their season. This is awesome. I can't wait for this. 9 players, though, are at NHL camps, and the Spits still went 3-1 during the preseason. Head coach Greg Walters loves his 2008 draft class. 6 of them played big minutes in the playoffs last spring on a team that almost made it to the conference final. I think they are going to be a big reason this team succeeds. Now, the Spits head into the season ranked 5th in the CHL, better than last year.
Some people didn't have us making the playoffs, so it was it's great, and obviously it's all a credit to the kids, and listen, we got a good team coming back, so we can't fall in love with ourselves, and we just got to make sure that our work ethic and our attention to detail is the same as it was last year.
Now, this is a fun time of year for Major League Baseball, and the Tigers are in the thick of things.
Oh, yeah, they're in the thick of things, but they're putting fans on notice here. It's like, holy smokes, I'm getting a little scared here. Pivotal series against Cleveland right now, and they did not get off to a good start last night at Comerica Park. The look on the faces says it all. Tough loss to the pesky Guardians, who beat the Tigers 7-5 in 10 innings. 11 games left. Detroit's lead in the AL Central down to 5.5 games. That is the narrowest since August 12th, folks. Jack Flaherty on the mound tonight for the Tigers. Then it's the savior. Guaranteed win, we'll see. Tarek Skubal Thursday to close out the series.
Okay, so how bad is it?
Oh, my goodness. So, listen, the magic number is 8. And I don't know, they host Atlanta, which is not a very good team this weekend at Comerica Park. So they should sweep. Guardians have the Twins. They should sweep. And then they square off next week in Cleveland. So, I don't know, 5.5 games. If the Tigers don't win the next 2, uh-oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and we will all, of course, be watching.
Of course.
Okay, so have you got a local sports scoop for Bob or another story idea for CTV News? Text us.
Is that my line? Okay, text us. Send us your comments, questions, pictures, and we'd love to have some video. Send that to 10400 anytime.
Would you text your ex for $10,000? 89X is back. Listen for the keywords and text your ex. It's never been more rewarding to get back with your ex. Only on Windsor's Alternative, 89X.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Windsor, Essex is hosting their first annual Big Motor City Car and Motorcycle Show this Sunday from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Fogelar Furland Club. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, you have more for us on a dream come true at police headquarters.
That's right. A Windsor boy had his wish granted today, but the Make-A-Wish organization says there are many more waiting to be fulfilled. After 2 days helping patrol the city with Windsor Police, Make-A-Wish Canada says wishes like Abuti's do more than create memories. They help families cope with difficult treatments and health challenges, calling the Make-A-Wish dreams an essential part of a child's treatment journey.
The wish list keeps growing. Right now we have over 3,700 wishes waiting to be granted, so we really rely on the community to come together and, you know, make it possible for wishes to come true by making a donation and coming together.
We've also got a photo gallery of Abuti's Day in uniform at ctvwindsor.ca.
And we've also got a story online, Melanie, about the city seeking environmental input.
Yes, Windsor wants to know what your environmental priorities are. Residents can give feedback through the Environmental Perspectives Survey. The insights will help the city set goals and plan new programs to tackle climate change and other challenges. The survey is available until October 31st. We've put the link on our website. And in our social spotlight, pranking Toronto Maple Leafs players with a trending filter.
This is Simon Benoit. Why do you look like that? That's crazy. No, that's not.
So he caught on, but some of the players didn't. The filter, of course, makes their eyes further apart on their face. The players were doing a promo video at a golf tournament ahead of the upcoming preseason, which starts this Sunday, Stephanie.
I love the endless amount of filters that literally can bring joy to anyone.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious to see people's reaction.
Okay, so Mel, how can viewers submit a video for our trending segment?
Well, you can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Still to come, a local auto shop known for their car part art unveils a brand new sculpture, and he looks kind of familiar.
The latest news to start your day.
Interviews, conversations with the top officials, the difference makers, and personalities in Windsor, Essex.
Only on Windsor, Essex #1 morning show.
It's Mornings with Mike and Meg on AM 800.
Wow, a drastic change there, Gary, in the color.
Some trees obviously lit up beautifully. Those colors, that wonderful metamorphosis, that transformation. Many, I think, would say it's a beautiful time of the year. My favorite season's upon us. Technically, we're still in summer. And you'll be able to enjoy summer-like temperatures for at least one more day. Tomorrow, 29. Fair weather, mixture of sun and cloud. 24 on Friday, still a mixture of sun and cloud, but cooler. That's more seasonal. Showers possible on Saturday, down to about 23 or 24. Looking at 26 and cloudy on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, average temperature between 24 and 25, which is still slightly above seasonal, but showers expected. We are still in a drought situation. It has not rained significantly for quite some time.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Sanjay, tonight we're going inside a new type of therapy.
That's right. A number of stories we're working on for tonight at 11. Among those, taking you inside a new form of therapy that's showing promise for people living with joint pain. It's minimally invasive. It uses the body's own resources, and early results suggest it could help patients regain mobility they thought was lost. What exactly this means for treatment and how soon it could be more widely available, we'll have those details tonight at 11.
Okay. We leave our viewers tonight, passing by an area in our city that is quite recognizable. Driving past McDonald's Auto on Eugenie, you've probably seen their artistic statues made out of car parts. They've got Taylor Swift, Prince, Darth Vader, and now a face from right here in the CTV News Windsor newsroom.
It's fun for, you know, like for you to tell a story about how you were created as a muffler man sculpture, and now like Jimmy's gonna have these stories and Glenn is gonna have these stories.
Mr. Bob Bellacicco has been immortalized through the medium of mufflers, along with Windsor firefighter Jim Reno and Glenn Willis, who worked for Peter Solly at McDonald's Automotive. Looking good there, Bob. Solly has made hundreds of sculptures throughout the years, and earlier this year gifted former late-night talk show host Jay Leno. With a local focus, Solly is hoping to create a batch that people in our community connect with. Look at there, Bob, looking
it's
good.
It's fun doing it. I love the reaction in people's faces. I love how the community likes it. I love all the fundraisers we did, all the concert series we did too. So yeah, we're just going to keep trucking along. The little train that could.
So much fun. I would love to see Mr. Gary Archibald and a son, Jay Monroe. I think they look incredible.
Thank you.
I feel like that's the peak of Windsor fame, to get a sculpture of you. So congratulations, Bob.
Now Bob can retire.
Yeah, that's it. It's over.
He's made it in the city of Windsor. On behalf of our dedicated team here on CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
Well done, Bob. Congratulations, sir. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And I'll be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
Gary, I know you're jealous.
Did I say anything? I said congrats.